Hello and welcome to this episode of Market क्या लगता है. Guys, this week was a very interesting kind of a week because we have seen the price moving from the upper side of the range to the lower side of the range. And when we are looking at this volatile period, it was very interesting to trade in this particular phase. And most importantly, right now we are sitting at a lowest level of our range. The closing for Nifty is very weak, I would say, from the weekly and a daily closing point of view. And Bank Nifty comparatively is a little betterly poised, is something that I can tell you. But let us quickly go first to the WhatsApp group message, the message which was shared on Friday. So on Friday I shared this message. So talking about Nifty range and Nifty support level of 19 to 50 important, Bank Nifty support level of 43,600 is important, and see Dow theory changes below this level is something that I have mentioned. How I do mean by Dow theory changes below the level, I'll explain it in a bit. So first target of 19,500, this got completed after Wednesday. Wednesday we were expecting a bounce. So Wednesday, Thursday, in these 2 days we got that bounce. And Bank Nifty target of 44,900, this target also got completed. We saw a very sharp sell-off from these levels. So these are the scenarios that are in front of us. Now, more importantly, unless Dow theory changes, the phase is still a slow moving correction. Understand these words carefully, because what is happening, we are moving in a particular range. So there is not a decisive kind of a trend, in spite of the fact that Nifty is below SAP for last 2 to 3 days, but then the momentum is not that great. Recent lows important in Nifty 19,250 and 43,600 must sustain for bullish move. Today's close may give us clarity about the current trend. At the same time, if there is a big gap, I will wait for follow-up candle to trade intraday. See why I keep on saying that follow-up candle is important, because you see a big gap down, you might feel that you should immediately short this market, you should make most of this falling market, and then there will be immediately a bounce to just take out your stop loss. All the stop losses above the day's high will be taken out, and then eventually price will go on to make a new low. Again, let's say someone who's bullish here, the stop losses will be taken out, and in this entire day, in a nutshell, price has not done anything significant. So there is a gap down, and after that gap down, there's a weaker closing in case of a Nifty. In case of Bank Nifty, the closing is still weaker, but then from the lows which were established on the day, during the day, it has recovered significantly and it has closed above 44,000. That is something very important. So 44,000 is currently our important support level. Let us go to Nifty chart to identify what is happening. So this is our range, what we are talking about, and the bullish target once we are above SAP. So these targets got completed. Both the target 19,495 as well as 19,560. Both these targets got completed, and there was a sharp sell-off after this target got completed on Thursday and Friday. Now we have closed below this level of 19,250. So we are just tad below 19,250. Now this coming week, next 2 to 3 days, they are going to be important. They are going to be important because number one, there is a AGM for Reliance Industries. There is a Supreme Court hearing of Adani Enterprises. These are going to be news. These are going to be event. They are not going to make a huge difference in the trend of the particular index right now. But at this point in time, we are very close to our 19,250 support level. So it is a make it or break it kind of a level. Even though we have got a weekly close, that weekly close is below this particular level. So our weekly close is below 19,250 odd level. Now this level is pure and simple. As per Dow theory, this is the low which was established, and now we have broken and we are closing below this particular low. If this trend continues, then 19,100 cannot be ignored, or this is one level that I feel has got a potential where we can reach in coming days. I think we have calculated targets. Yeah, so there is a target at this level of 19,160. This can be one of the target. So this is where somewhere around this level we should find support in current market is what the expectation is. Till this entire week we were talking about 19,250, and this 19,250 has delivered us beautifully in this entire week. This level has sustained very nicely, and if at all we break below this level on Monday, then quickly we might reach to 19,160. But I feel that if it reaches to 19,160, there can be some kind of a bounce. Okay, the market does not look as weak as it is being portrayed. The only advantage for the bears or the sellers right now is that after so many days, volatility index, VIX, India VIX, has managed to close above 12, right? So that has happened on Friday. And this is something that is significant change as of now. Otherwise, the trend remains in a way sideways, dull kind of a trend. If you observe all this entire movement, the trend is in a way dull and a sideways kind of a movement. I'll just quickly take you to the quarterly time frame as well, the movement that is happening on a quarterly time frame. So this quarterly chart, you can see that this is a sideways, slow moving sideways trend I'm talking about. So nothing has happened in this particular quarter, I would say, wherever this quarter has started in the month of July. From the month of July till this August, 26th of August, we are just 70 points above the opening price. So please understand, we are in a consolidation manner, consolidation phase, and if you know this, you will be able to trade with a smaller position sizing and with agility during the trending days. You can make good money. This week was typically good because there was a trending moves, and these trending moves gave us good amount of better risk to reward trades, and those trades were helpful. So in case of Nifty, if at all we bounce from this level, again we are looking at a target of 19,400 if it's a bullish move. So bounce will be limited to 19,400 odd level, and if at all we are going below, then in that case that range. Now I'll just remove these targets. Let's remove this clutter. All these targets are completed. Now the next range that I'm talking about, the target that I'm talking about, oh, this is a SAP range. Okay, I don't need this now. So the next range that can be helpful for us, okay, so 19,400 and 19,100 is the range that we are looking at for this particular period. It is likely that the price will remain into this particular range. Okay, now at this point in time, both these indices are below semi-annual pivot, so it will be a sell on the bounce or sell on the rallies kind of a market. That is something that you need to understand. So don't be bullish unless this high is taken out. So our view will change to bullish once we break above 19,585. Unless and until this level is not taken out, don't have a very bullish kind of a view. Let the market prove that it needs to cross this important level, and once it crosses this important level, then and only then we will look at the bullish range. Otherwise, just stick to the range calculation, and as long as it is within the range, it is easier for us to manage the trend. When we are talking about the range, and if we move to Bank Nifty chart, you will see that how beautifully this range has obliged. And for Bank Nifty, we had calculated a range of 44,900 or 44,995, that is a SAP level, and from there to this low of 43,873. So this particular level, which was a Fibonacci level, and in this particular range, the price is just hovering inside the range. And this typically happens. These ranges are calculated using the open interest calculation, and this open interest calculation often gives us a very good idea about how the market is behaving in the near future, you can say in a week's time or so. So this is what the observation in case of a Bank Nifty. Now Bank Nifty is way below semi-annual pivot, even though it has tested semi-annual pivot. It is likely now in next 2 to 3 days we will observe if we get a follow-up to this particular bearish action, whatever has happened in last 2 days, last couple of days. And if it continues and breaks below this 44,000 level, then we would look for opportunity to sell. Otherwise, with this support of 44,000, as I had mentioned in the Wednesday's video as well, this 44,000 level must be honored, must be guarded by the bulls. And if this level is broken, then and only then we'll look for a shorting opportunity. Otherwise, we'll try to buy in small quantity with a smaller stop loss. Please understand, in this particular phase, we still do not have a decisive kind of a direction. So whatever is happening, it is happening in a kind of a range bound market. As I have shared the quarterly chart of Nifty with you, you can take a look at the quarterly chart of Bank Nifty as well, and it is not a different chart. So the bearish action prevails in that, and it's a very small indecisive neutral candle that is being printed so far. So that itself is not giving us a trending no, and the market is still range bound. So at least for first 2 to 3 days of this particular week, ideally I would suggest you to keep a lighter position, smaller position, and be agile if you are trading in options. That is the better strategy to do. That's it from me in this particular week. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm signing off. Bye bye.